Love, love, love till I feel the breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Welcome to Spirit of Life. My name is Geraldine Lee, your host, and our guest who was here last week has come back. His name is Corey Payton, and he's a personal coach, and he's also presenting at the Singles Conference, and he's involved in Evergreen. Welcome.
Thanks,
Welcome
Geraldine.
back, Corey.
Thank you.
It's great to have you back, and you had an amazing story of faith at 4 years old, and then a personal coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember your story saying that you had, at 4 years old, you felt God's love, and then you did your own thing, and then you came back again. Could you tell us more about how you came back again to your faith?
Yeah. I think what happened as far as losing that peace, losing that connection, that personal space with God up my tree was a time when, I wondered, why do people worry? Like, I was so happy up my tree, and I was excited about life, and so excited about what could happen in my life. And I did notice, people that do get worried, and I could see them getting caught up in their thinking. And I remember one time I thought, gee, why do people worry? And I remember thinking, I know, they look like this. So I tried to look like that and tried to mimic that. And I remember shortly after I started to worry. It was like what I realise now in coaching is I was modelling people who worry. So when we model something, it's like we take on board how that person thinks, how that person structure their reality. And so I realised, even from that, looking back now in hindsight, that was a moment where I started to worry, started to fear what could happen. And I started to worry about, helping people. Am I good enough to help? Or, do I have enough strength to be good enough? It's often a question as men we struggle with. Are we good enough, to stand up for what we believe in and to achieve what we want? And so it's without going on to a long story about that, it went down to a point where I started to seek connection, or started to be affirmed by others, rather than backing myself that I am good enough. I was actually, seeking others' attention, the wrong crowd, or, doing what's popular, what's accepted, even though it's not good for me, with the drugs and everything, still doing that because of wanting to be accepted, wanting to belong. And that's where, I lost a bit of track, because I was off the path of being true to myself, of who I am, and seeking what I wanted in my life, like what was my calling, to who was I to be in life. So I lost that for many years.
Yeah, so you were at first getting it from God, and then you decided to get it from people more. Yeah,
like to feel that, that to satisfy, to eliminate that fear of being judged, that fear of not belonging, that fear of not being good enough. So it was a long journey of seeking that in things or in other people, when really all the time I have it. Like it's a gift that everyone has, that they are good enough, that they are loved, that they do belong. But in life it can be hard to believe that if there isn't people around that are accepting, that other people not welcoming people in, because that's the idea of a Christian, that they are God's love to others, and they do come, they do accept, they do bring people in, and they do see people as good enough. I can see that's key, to making life a better place, making the world a better place.
Yeah, and you do that to others. You try and help them to find it from within rather than live on their fears, external fears.
Yeah, but I realised actually that the first step is being the best I can, like helping myself, like actually, you know, having good relationships where I am loved, and having a good connection with God and being filled with that, you know, that significance, love and connection, and that security, and knowing who I am, my identity, and as a Christian. And then from that place of being full, then going out to others to helping out.
It's like praying
others.
and
Yeah,
meditating
definitely.
and spending time with God, talking to God.
Yeah, definitely. Because otherwise I could be going out to help people only just to satisfy myself.
Your need to feel good or to feel
be
affirmed.
accepted. Yeah, it's almost like a neediness
So
to help
it's like
people.
you're meeting your needs rather than,
Yeah.
sort of meeting their needs, but in order to get your needs met.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
then if your needs are not met, you might stop helping them then.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. And it's a catch-22. So I've realised that actually, yeah, you have to help yourself before you can help others. It's kind of like that metaphor, like being on a plane. If the oxygen mask come down, you have to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help another person. So there has to be that, you know, good relationships in place. There has to be good, that connection with God, connection with others. Then you can help others. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that analogy. You know,
Yeah.
where people say, put on your mask first before you
Yeah.
put it on, even on your chow, because you might Kong out before. Or
Yeah, that's it. And then, you know,
yes.
both people are in a bad spot. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, we'll need to go for a break now. And we'll see you back in a few minutes. Welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm your host, Geraldine Lee, and our guest is Corey Payton. He's a personal coach, and he's been sharing about his faith journey. Welcome back,
Thanks,
Corey.
Geraldine.
Yes, your faith, sort of, you were talking about how you were trying to impress people and getting that energy from people rather than from God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It was a place where I was making decisions that weren't really what I wanted, you know, who I wanted to be. And I remember, you know, there was things that I stopped, like I loved to do art, but I stopped that. You know, I was doing work that really I was after the money. And I remember, you know, going through that time and working, and I came to a place where I got the amount of money I wanted, and I thought I was happy, and I got to a place where everything seemed to be where, like, you know, what I wanted to achieve, but there was a feeling of emptiness, like that there was, is this it? Like, I thought there was supposed to be more. And yeah, like I did at the time go on a journey to New Zealand, and that was an awesome trip, just getting out into bush, trekking, and just in nature. I just loved getting out, and that was a time where I could really think about, okay, where do I want to go in my life? And I remember I did read a bit about faith during that time, and I did learn about different things like miracles happening, like with Mary appearing in Fatima. That was quite important for me, because I read about the visionaries there, like they were just kids, you know, at the time 10, 8 and 9 or something. And just the witness of those kids, that they had visions of Mary, but they you know, had a great faith or great strength about them. Yes. Because they were threatened to be killed, threatened to be boiled alive, but they still stayed strong to their commitment, strong to their commitment to the vision and to keep it secret. And it was amazing. Like I was blown away by their witness for me. So I realised, hey, there's actually power in what they do. I was wondering where's this power coming from, and I realised they prayed. And so I realised, wow, I've got to pray. I've got to get back to prayer.
It's kind of like the parallel when you came to your faith when you were young, and then them coming to their faith and they young. There's a bit of a parallel there.
Yeah, definitely. It's the strength of a childlike faith. It's there's a real power in it. So that opened me up back into prayer, and from there I discovered coaching as well at the same time. And the coaching was more about what kind of legacy do I want to leave in my life, and who am I? What's my purpose? And that was really important for me to discover and to grow as a person, and to be the best I can be in what I choose to be. Yeah.
Is it like when you say you want to make a difference, is that kind of where?
Definitely. The difference for me was, my connection with God, my relationships, and then giving a gift to others, that helping others to discover their legacy or their passion and purpose, and helping them to achieve that. Because I came from a place where I was just stuck, and I didn't know which way to go or how to get out of that stuck state. And through coaching, it helped me to make good decisions and to be the best I can be, and to get unstuck, to go forward in life and to achieve what I needed to achieve. That's what I'm passionate about, showing that, guiding others to find their place of freedom, and being unstuck, with bad strategies they might have, and negative patterns of behaviour, self-sabotage, procrastination, stuff like that, to help them to really go forward in their life.
What types of people can you help?
Coaching,
walks of life? Or?
Yeah, all walks of life. Like coaching can help any person, and it's there's nothing that you can't bring to the table to a coach that can be dealt with, can be just explored. Yeah, because coaching is a lot about asking the person what they want, because often we don't know what we want. We know what we don't want because we're motivated by what we want to move away from. But what the study of the brain is, and the study of NLP has found, is that we achieve when we know our outcome. We have to know what we want. We have to see it. And because what we focus on is really what we get. So a lot of coaching in the beginning is getting the person to language what they want, and then asking the question, okay, what's missing? How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? And that could be to do with beliefs, it could be to do with attitudes, actions that need to be taken, decisions. It could be anything in between that needs to be in place for that person to get to where they want to be. Yeah.
Do you pray during the process? Is that?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I'm coaching a Christian, it's great to open it in prayer and finish it in prayer. And yeah, of course, personally, I still, my faith is very important to me. And, it's like saying grace before meals, it's blessing the food. And the same way, it's like people pray before they take medication. So definitely there's grace at work there all the time. Yeah. Because it's a saying, I think it was St. Ignatius or St. Xavier said that when you pray as if everything depends on your prayer. And when you act as in everything depends on your action. So it's, in a way, prayer and coaching, they're both really good things, and I think they're both very, very important. So you do both of them really well. Yeah.
Yeah, prayer is very powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, we probably need to pause now and go for a break. We're going for a break now, and hope to see you back in a few minutes. Welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Geraldine Lee, your host, and our guest is Corey Payton. Welcome back, Corey.
Thanks, Geraldine.
You've been talking about your work in personal coaching and how do you help people to reach their goals. Yeah, and are their goals, do they need to be like, goals that you would agree with, like altruistic goals and things like that, or?
Not necessarily, no. It's always, but it has to be what they want. And it's good to explore what they want, but by like questions like, okay, if you had that, what would that give you? Finding the purpose, the why for what they want to have. And if they have a goal, I could stretch them and say, okay, if you got that gold medal, what else could you do after that? How can you take that to another level? And so then, that could explore helping others. So, so with his like altruism, so it's getting a gold medal and then thinking, yeah, maybe I could, once I get that gold medal, I can come back and teach others that might be wanting a gold medal how to be the best they can be. So that's taking it to another level. And often when that level is actually contribution. And that's really important because that's a need in all of us. We talk about in coaching the 6 core needs that come from Tony Robbins. And the spiritual needs he talks about is contribution and growth. So if someone has a goal, a good question is to ask, how is that going to contribute to society? How is that going to help you grow as a person? Because it might be just a goal just to get something, but let's take it further. What else can you add to this to make it, even more powerful and amazing?
Right. So if I suppose that, in our society today, there's a lot about getting bigger houses, bigger. So you'll say, you guide them towards saying, what can you contribute? Because you're saying deep in people's core, they need to contribute.
Definitely. Like there's a sad statistic with people that are retiring that often 3 years after retirement they pass away because there's no, it's like they lose that purpose. They've done everything now, they've got everything, what's next? So to lose your purpose, to lose a why, can be really, it can take your life really. So it's, even with talking with people that are retired, I'd ask them, okay, how are you going to contribute back to society with all that you've got? Perhaps there's someone they can mentor. That's definitely contributing, and that gives people purpose and meaning, like really good meaning to their life.
I read the GROW principles for mental health, and one of them is meaning generates energy. And
definitely, yeah.
You're going to be speaking on November the 9th and 10th at the Singles Conference.
Yes.
What do you think are the singles' needs? And will you be addressing those needs?
Yeah. Often I hear from singles, they say, I have to just find the right one and then I'll be happy, or what am I doing wrong, or something like that. My question I would ask them is, okay, if you did have the perfect person, exactly how you want them to be, who do you need to be to have that person, which is a more empowering question, because it's about who they need to become to have that right person. You know, otherwise they could go through their life just moaning that, if only I had that one person, I don't, so my life has been a waste. But if it's thinking, who do I need to be? That's something more proactive. It's something more something you can do. Because in the end, if you don't have that person, at least you've become who you need to be, which is definitely much more empowering to a person.
Yeah, that's very powerful, because everyone's focusing on getting, and by being that person, be much more powerful.
Yeah,
I've heard people have to give 110% in a relationship. Each of them give for people to meet halfway, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, and what other topics do you hope to address? Communication and things like that, I suppose, the battle of the sexes?
Yeah, definitely talk about the difference between femininity and masculinity, and even maybe a bit about how in a relationship there can be like a flow of masculine and feminine energy. There's sometimes what happens when you're looking at a couple. You know, the guy might be showing more feminine energy, like he's hunched over, he's not actually, you know, being the king, or the female might actually be, you know, acting the king, like dressing more like a man in a way. So it's like she's taking on the masculine energy, which is fine. But in a relationship, there should be a flow of that. And like a dance, a masculine and feminine energy. So yeah, that's a great topic to talk about at the singles conference. Yeah.
Yeah. So it will be a very powerful conference with your input and your faith journey. And when was the conference again?
November 9th. Yes.
Okay. And is it for really young singles, or what, or is there any age group limit to the singles coming?
No, I think it's open to
all singles.
Yeah.
So it's been great to have you, and hopefully we'll have you back another time, because you're fascinating.
Awesome.
I've learned so much from you, and
thank you, Geraldine.
So thank you for coming on our program.
You're welcome.
The organisers of the Singles Conference would like to offer viewers who are single, half-price tickets to come to the Singles Conference. So if you would like to have one, go on to the website spiritoflifetv.net and email us for some half-price tickets. And it's been thank you for watching Spirit of Life, and goodbye, and God bless you.
Bring it to birth and blow where you will. Blow, blow, blow till I be but breath of the Spirit. Blow.